Firstly, I entirely welcome what she said. It was the right response. It was a measured response. This is an outrageous and violent act, an attempted murder using a prohibited chemical substance. So it is very serious. I think if I have a concern is that there's a long track record of President Putin behaving in this way. And on the whole, he gets away with it. He's carried out unlawful acts against a large number of states, including France. But unless we have a clear strategy as the free democratic countries of Europe and indeed elsewhere in the world in challenging this in a proportionate manner, I'm afraid he's going to continue. And so what I do worry about is we will get undoubted expressions of support and sympathy and indeed short-term help. But in the long term, the evidence is quite clear over the last 10 years. He's getting away with more and more of this, and he's becoming more violent as he goes along.
So would your concern be answered if allies, for example, tonight at 1900 GMT, the UN Security Council, the British are really going to try and push China and others to voice that support in a concrete way with international measures?
Well, I certainly hope that the UN Security Council may respond positively, but of course I'm alive to the reality, which is that Russia is a member of it and is likely to veto any decision or resolution of it. And there may be other states like China which are reluctant to commit themselves. But the reality is this is a very serious long-term threat to peace. And as I say, it's not just about poisoning and murdering people, it's also about his cyber attacks, one of which he carried out on a French television station. It's pretty well established.
TV5 Monde, actually.
Yes, yeah. TV5 Monde. It's part of a pattern of lawless behaviour. And unless we have, as I say, we come together to have a clear, measured strategy for challenging this and for pointing out that there cannot be normal relations with Russia as long as this continues, and we do it consistently, it's going to continue.
So you're mostly convinced, as are the great majority of Conservative MPs, the majority of the House seem to be backing Theresa May. Some criticism of the Labour leader's position, Jeremy Corbyn.
Well, I thought the Labour leader's position was dreadful. I mean, it's totally consistent with his view. I'm afraid he is a proto-Marxist. This has been apparent for a long time, and he's long been an apologist for all sorts of regimes which are really rather unpleasant. And he's long shown an ambivalence towards condemning and being outright in his condemnation. He always seems to find something else to criticise, and it went down very badly with his own party. In fairness to him, it's entirely consistent with his own views and approach, which I've heard him display on numerous occasions as a parliamentarian over the years.
And 2 words on Brexit. Let me introduce that word. Do you think that actually this could, if that action and your concern is not answered, Britain could actually be quite isolated?
Well, there's no doubt that I see Brexit as being a risk of isolating my country. I think my views on Brexit are pretty well known. I think it's a big mistake. But equally, those of us who want to try to take our country towards a better destination are also very aware that actually it's the support of our European partners which is the most likely to enable us to achieve that.